Sue Bright is the Executive Director of New Directions for Women, and she is the Master Gardener of our organization. Last year at our breakfast, we met her for the first time as she was 1 month into her new role. In the last 12 months, she herself has created deep roots in Southern California as she took the helm of New Directions and helped us grow higher. And the sky is the limit. I am so glad Sue is here. Please join me in welcoming her as she shares our vision for the future.
Well, good morning, everyone. How are you? So I want to thank some of you who woke up extra early this morning. I know that was not an easy task for you, and I want to say thank you. I understand traffic was a little bit hectic coming in. Thank you for your patience and making your way in anyway. And for those of you who traveled across the country, a special thank you. My family's here from the East Coast. So there are many of you in the audience, and you know who you are, that have lovingly tended the foundational roots of New Directions for Women. From chairing our board and building Founders House in the 1980s, to those of you who built and grew our Alumni Association in the 90s, to volunteers that helped with the Chrysalis Ball, golf tournaments, and simply spent time with children who first began living on campus in the early 2000s. Many of you today personally help us in the sanctuary we now get to treat our women in the 2010s. Thank you very much. These past 12 months have been a little bit like drinking from a fire hydrant, as I've said more than once. I can assure you I am well hydrated at this point. There are many similarities to treatment on the East Coast here on the West Coast, but there's still so much to learn in this new environment. There's new relationships to build and nurture, strong allegiances with the New Directions for Women family, nuances to California state laws, the political landscape, and of course, there's the day-to-day operations of running this incredible nonprofit organization. I love that we offer a healing environment to all of our women who suffer from substance use disorder over the age of 18, women who are pregnant in any trimester, and women may bring their children up to the age of 13, where they are greeted. They don't have to make a choice between getting the help that they need and being a mom. And for me, that is the most important thing. I also love that we do this with love, compassion, and without judgment. We help these women heal from their wounds of their past and allow them the space and the time to rebuild relationships with their children and help put an end to intergenerational trauma. There have certainly been challenges along the way. Oh, come on. There have certainly been challenges along the way, and there has been a change in culture that there would be with any new change in leadership. But all in all, I'm feeling very positive about the groundwork that we have laid as a team and the vision for our future. This vision includes becoming an in-network provider with two of the largest insurers, Blue Shield and Aetna, in addition to those insurance plans that we are already contracted with. We've become more effective as an organization and more efficient with our information technology systems. I know the staff every day are very grateful that the internet doesn't drop after they've just completed their progress notes. It's a big deal, trust me, if you only knew. We've added family support services on Thursday evenings on campus that run concurrently with our alumni meeting. We have informational sessions regarding estate planning and employer education for the community at large to increase the awareness of addiction and how it may look in the workplace environment. Each of you has a program booklet which outlines all of our community support services at your place. Please take this with you to use as a resource whenever needed. We are also beginning to see the impact of some new legislation which addresses the unsavory practices of those who entered the treatment field for profit reasons only. Most of you have heard negative, scary media reports about the abuses of some treatment providers, and it hurts the industry not only as a whole, but more important, the people who suffer from this devastating disease who are looking for a way up and out. When you have a loved one who is in need of treatment services, all emotions are running high, and it's hard to differentiate who the good players are from the bad. As Our Lady sang this morning, some of the lyrics state, "You can't see what's hiding beneath the surface. You can tell my heart grows until you unearth it." I invite all of you to get involved, to learn about our services, to come and take a tour so that you can have firsthand experience with New Directions for Women, and we can be forefront in your mind should anyone that you love need treatment services. There's many treatment centers out there, and as you ponder if this is one that you can stand behind, let me share some of our statistics on our outcomes. We were one of 8 treatment centers that participated with the National Association of Treatment Providers Outcomes Pilot Program, a completely independent research study that measures the long-term outcomes for residential treatment services. At 12 months post-discharge, we had the highest number of responses at 60%, and we had the highest abstinence rate at 76%. That is a big deal. Now, I want you to know that we were the smallest treatment center out of these 8, which included Betty Ford Hazelton, Karen, and many other nationally recognized treatment facilities, some of which are in the room with us today. But by far, the single most difficult decision that I have to make on a daily basis is how to fairly allocate the scholarship funds so that our women can remain in our care. Whether it is helping to support those whose insurance will no longer cover their treatment stay, or for those who wish to extend past a traditional 30-day treatment model. The statistics support what we know to be true. The longer a woman is engaged in care, the better her chances of long-term recovery. I've come to know many of these women and their young children. I've met and spoken with their families. I've had the honor of living on campus and being an integrated part of their daily milieu. There's nothing more special than preparing and enjoying Thanksgiving dinner together, watching the little ones and their moms open gifts, which some of you in the audience had an active role in providing, during often their first sober Christmas together. Preparing and enjoying Sunday afternoon dinners along with our volunteers who give of their time and talent. But many of our volunteers tell me that their lives have been fully enriched by the experience they themselves receive. Whether I'm attending weekly alumni meetings or being present while Our Ladies are experiencing equine therapy, it all makes me extremely grateful and very blessed to be a part of this wonderful nonprofit organization. However, it does make it difficult to say no to those who are asking for additional scholarship funds. I look forward to what this next year holds for us, and it is my pleasure to introduce 2 individuals who will surely touch your heart in a very profound way. In a few moments, you're going to hear from Miles, a brave and compassionate young man who is mature beyond his years. After last year's breakfast, he came into mind as clearly a potential speaker for this year. But first, I'd like to introduce you to Brittany, who began her recovery journey at New Directions for Women, and today helps our women as our alumni coordinator. Please help me welcome Brittany.